Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, we are live now, and
Yeah.
all students are all have already joined, and some will join on YouTube, sir.
Okay.
So, dear students, good morning. On this beautiful morning, I hope you all are fully charged after a Sunday's rest and looking after new opportunities this week. So, I welcome you all to IIEBM's induction program of 22nd batch Ignite 2021. I am Professor Neeraj Kumar Sathavne from Placement Team, IIEBM, your host for the session. This session will be of 1 hour 15 minutes, where first and 1 hour will be knowledge sharing, as you know already, and rest 15 minutes will be question and answer. You can type your questions in the chat box, which will be addressed at the end of the session. If we talk about retail banking, credit analysis, who else can explain it better than our today's guest, Mr. Kanchan Kulkarni? He will talk on current scenario and growth prospects in banking and finance. So let me introduce Mr. Kanchan Kulkarni, sir. Sir have a 20 plus years of experience and presently working as ex-regional head manager RBGI at ICICI Bank. He look after BC business for state of Maharashtra in rural and inclusive banking group, an emerging and dynamic initiative in terms of disseminating banking activity to the underprivileged class or community who have to be brought under banking parlance. He worked with Bank of Maharashtra for more than 13 years. He also worked with Reserve Bank of India. So by education, he have completed his BSc as well as Master of Science. If we talk in brief about Kanchan sir, so in Reserve Bank of India and Bank of Maharashtra and ICICI Bank Limited, he have more than, as we have already discussed, 25 plus years of experience in commercial banking sector, international trade, finance to MSME sector, microfinance, a leader in enabling service value across systematic planning, scientific strategies, and execution. Extensive experience in creating end-to-end planning, process, product dynamics. Authority in creating a huge value relationship of retail and corporate customers with bank within the country and abroad. Sir have also some awards like Legio of Achievers, 5S Excellence Award. So this eminent personality will share his view with you. So I welcome you, sir, in this
Thank you.
session,
Thank you.
and I hope your valuable inputs will help our students to select the stream as well as to enter into right domain. Now over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Neeraj sir. Very nice introduction. I suppose you have created a very energetic, sunny platform for the day, and I suppose this could add some values for the student as well. Once again, thank you so much, and hi friends. Thank you. Welcome to all. Welcome all emerging leaders, upcoming leaders, and future of this country also in this particular forum. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. So, friends, we have exactly 1 hour for our discussion. So, as Neeraj sir has said, I have some inputs, or maybe you can say I would be sharing my own experience into this particular field, and then we'll go ahead with exposing before you as to what are the you can say illustrious career waiting for you in the field of finance as well as banking as such. Okay, so there you could be, many of you could be looking for such a career which would be not only in terms of enriching your own life, but also it would add some value to the society as well. So it could be you can say blend of both, growth of yourself own, as well as you would be looking forward for the growth of the society as such. Okay, so with this session, I would like to put before as to what are the opportunities which are upcoming in a large way, wherein you can definitely encash and get yourself engaged with such institutions also. Okay, but before this, friends, I have a very small presentation. So I would put before you insight as to what is happening in and around the world, how this has impacted banking as well as on the economy also. Then we'll get into some perspective of how banking works, what are the banking products, what are the banking services, which could be aligned to your future career as well. Okay, so I have a small presentation. We'll go ahead. Some perspective again, as I said, this is going direct. This is coming to you directly from this in particular industry as such. But firstly, let us see, friends, as you are aware, all of us, the way we have experienced the different way of life, different way, different size, or you can say different phase of the economy. Also, the way it has happened for the last 1 year, 1.5 years also. Virtually all of us, including you, me, and not only relating our own world, but entire world has been grilled into a certain different situation, different such a situation, such experience. I hope any mankind who had never experienced as such, who had never assumed, who had never anticipated as such. Okay, so having this in mind, and the way we are trying to come out of the situation, as well as trying to get into the normal situation, also you can see the way it has changed all systems, all you can say segments of life equally for our education also. Okay, really first year experience for would be for all of you. The way we are connected through online mode also. Okay, otherwise we could have a face on one-to-one also into the classroom. But yes, this is what we have accepted for the last 1 year also, and that's how it goes ahead. So let's have a perspective. Okay, so this is what we all of us we are looking for, the way, the pace we should look for, and definitely all of you, all young leaders for the future, will be looking quite new high. Okay. Also, in other words, the way we are planning, friends, what I feel, this should be your journey. Okay, so definitely all of us, without looking into the situation we are going through, we are all of us along with others. Okay, along with our colleagues, along with the society, along with the system around us, we are moving gradually, yes, but steadily. Okay, and
Sir,
look at
sir, sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
If you have changed the slide, it is displaying the first slide only. So you
Okay,
should
okay.
click
I'll
on
do that.
yes. Now it is visible, sir. So you should
Fine.
click on a small window, right, sir? Small window of your slide. Now it is visible, sir. Your third slide is visible.
Great. Okay. Okay. Great.
Okay.
That's
Please,
what I
sir.
was. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So that's what I was trying to put a perspective before you, friends. That it should be ideally what I suppose as a leader for the future should be your movement. So you are moving, trying to move gradually but steadily, confidently. And yes, all of us, the direction is towards somewhere northwards, moving high as such. That should be somewhere the insight as well as the strategy or the thought process all of you should have, right? So in line with this, let's have a look as to how we have how the world look at this particular perspective, immediate past as such. All of us, what we can see, and the way we look at it, that looking at the economy as a global economy as such, definitely we had to face a big challenge. Okay, so with along with this outbreak of COVID-19, definitely it has brought all of us into different type of world, different type of experience also. Definitely it went to somewhere we can say that it went into unexpected standstill. Okay, wherein not only our own family life, our friend, our social life, as well as typically the entire global economic scenario, okay, seem to be in a very precarious state as such. If we look at it from the economic point of view, banker point of view, definitely it looked to be a debt fueled growth of the past decade, okay, which was definitely reaching up to certain limits as such, right? It impacted not only the developing country like us, but also developed all the developed economies as well. But if you look at uh, the stand what we have taken, aptly appropriate time, definitely our government as well as all of the government, they facilitated to continue the business, the entire business ecosystem, okay, through various liberalized measures or relief measures, you can say, to all the citizens, okay, in the form of maybe could be in the form of FDIs to come up, or maybe to facilitate all the agreement or norms of WTO trade, World Trade Center or World Trade Organization also, okay, which had started in 2014, but more particularly it was needed during this critical time space. To take it further, if you look at the way we try to ready ourselves, okay, there's an indicator which normally we always see to the banking also, uh, not limited to looking at only our own economy and own growth, but there's an indicator which we call this as a EPI. Okay, this stands for Export Preparedness Index, which is normally you will also understand when you could be a part of the banking. So we call this from we look at it from EPI, Export Preparedness Index, okay, 2020, which really examines our own ecosystem, typically our relationship as aligned to international trade, would be export, import, all of us, okay, and as related to our own state or Indian states as well as Indian territory also. So let us go ahead. So what does indicate that indicates, friends? What does that indicate EPI as such? So it recognizes this particular EPI, it recognizes the important role of not only country, but coming down the role of all states, wherein we can enable to enhance, put all the efforts to enhance the Indian share, our share into the global economy. Also, it recognizes various policy measures, or you can say active efforts which government will be taking at national level, not enough to strengthen the only export, but also those efforts we should begin with improving, basically improving the competition also, as which would happen in the domestic market as well. Okay, so taking it ahead, friends, EPI in a broader way, it sets out to assess our own ability, our own readiness, our own preparedness of all the states in terms of their potential, not only to trade or our enterprise within the country, but also for exports as well. Okay, so just to make you aware, friends, there are four main pillars of this EPI, which recognizes our readiness, our own manufacturing capacity, production capacity in relation to the world. This speaks of the policy, our own policy, corporate policy, you can say. Also, this speaks of the business ecosystem. Apart from the business, domestic business ecosystem, also it speaks of the export ecosystem, and relating to this export ecosystem, what way we have performed, what way we have fared as such on the international level as such. Okay, so that's why the broad idea, the focal idea, central idea is to recognize ourselves. Okay, what are our inherent unique strengths, and also going ahead, what could be our possible competitive advantage of each state, each country as such. Okay, and also to enable to the extent possible, wherever possible, in order to mold our policies or practices, okay, and all efforts accordingly in line with the growth of our country, in line with our relationship with other countries also. If we compare ourselves, friends, if we compare in terms of the EPI, where do we stand? Where do we stand? So in terms of this you can say information available, we stand somewhere at rank number 39. If you take a measure of 100, okay, we lie at a rank of 39. What does that indicate? What does that indicate? It really indicates there is big scope, tremendous scope. Okay, we are looking at inherent potential which is available, and good scope to move ahead also, wherein we have this potential capability to transform ourselves into to say something that it could be export oriented or export based super economy as such. Okay, what does that implies in a nutshell, friend? It implies, and as a good you can say as an encouraging news for all of us, that India has a quite conducive, quite suitable business environment, and all of us have, thankfully, the way we chart out the policies, we have quite favorable policies in place, but they have to be translated into a very strong ecosystem, okay, domestic as well as ecosystem. Okay, that's what a perspective, friends, which I wanted to put before you, specifically in the light of this COVID-19 outbreak. Let us go ahead. So coming to our own field, friends, and specifically looking at typically finance field profile as well as banking, to be more precise. Let's look into this. There are certain figures typically in line with your changing the perspective or molding the perspective about this particular field. Very interesting, friends. You will definitely find whatever way the growth is happening, friends. Okay, the way we are looking at the growth of our own economy. Okay, and the way we have analyzed this particular growth, we are definitely on the upward growth chart. Definitely on the growth chart, where to fuel to this growth, okay, to supplement this growth, this country would need, and really mesmerizing figure, friends, we will need around 7.5 million banking professionals. Okay, and this is not too long. By the turn of the year 2022, this country will need in aggregate 7.5 million banking professionals. Okay, of which I'm very proud to put before you, friends. Out of which the majority would be freshers. Freshers, those that's I mentioned all the future leaders. Okay, into this industry. So many of you could be out of your batch, out of your entire army as such, right? So the major, I would say, the bulk of the for prosperity and future would be in the hands of all these fresh, uh, energetic managers, energetic officials into this sector. Okay, among this banking belongs to a certain sector which normally we call this as a BFSI. Okay, many of you could be knowing also. BFSI sector per se, it indicates banking, financial services, as well as insurance sector. Okay, BFSI. So the entire sector, as said, the way we look at it, friends, is very fast emerging. Space absolutely fast emerging. But within that BFSI, what I would like to pinpoint, banking is still moving faster. It has more faster pace as such. Also, that is the reason banking sector industry happens to be the biggest recruiter for all these officials, all these managers. Okay, that's why in line with this, friends, a small you can say initiative I would like to, but of course it's going to be big. What RBI has also put in their efforts, RBI is in an absolute mission mode to issue further banking licenses for new banks, quite new bank, good number of banks. Just to put a small example, that if there has been entry of new banks, okay, recently. Okay, this could be IDFC Bank. Now it is called IDFC First Bank, as well as Bandhan Bank. Okay, so these are you can say the representative of the future banking asset. Okay, they are the few examples. Apart from these two, you can say commercial banks, there have been of inflow or entry of specialized bank, friends. You might be knowing that apart from the normal banking which come into the fray, also there's a policy of the government to allow entry of specialized type of banks, specialized category of banks. Okay, to put it further, to elaborate further, these are the two special category of the banks. One precisely to touch base the economy of the India or economic needs of the country. They are called as SFBs, small finance bank, small finance bank. Okay, just for example, you must be knowing Jana Bank, Jana Lakshmi Bank, or Equitas. Okay, these are the examples of bank. Suryodaya Bank, something like that. Apart from small finance bank, there also has been need for another a specialized bank of called as payment banks also. Payment bank, as it says, they are precisely oriented towards function of enabling the payment system, or you can say the remittance system as a remittance function as. Okay, so these are also all been there. You must be knowing Fino, Petek Bank, okay, and so many others also, right? They are already working also. So through this, the Reserve Bank of India is in a mode to change the gears into such a specialized breed also. So we can see, friends, if we look at in a retrospect for the last decade as such, and you'll be really happy, and I'm really proud to say that the way this industry is growing, the way the industry is creating new records as such, this is the industry, one of the industry which is going to show also enormous growth potential. It has tremendous growth potential for the future. Okay, also which is indicator that this is the industry, friends, one of the unique industry which has no signs of recession. We must have experienced for the last 1 or 2 years, friend, maybe 3 years also, various types of industries, various segments of this economy, they are showing the signs of recession as well. But possibly, friends, this is one of the such industry wherein you would not find any signs of recession. Okay, so these are very interesting facts, I would say. Let's go ahead. So based on this, friends, specifically for you, there are some thoughts, or I would say some encouraging thoughts which I would like to put before you for all graduates, young graduates, management graduates, upcoming managers of this particular country. What is the thought process? Okay, so here in line with the banking space as such, you will find recently banking has undergone so many segmentation or customer segmentation. Banking has precisely decided to have specific customer segmentation. Okay, so that all the young generation bankers, which you would need to understand as to what are the different segments of the customer, what could be the specialized different line of services, different customized products, customized service, which are structured and meant for this segment also, right? So to understand this and to provide this particular service to them, I feel all of you need to have should be have a high level of confidence. Also, of course, no need to say, but we need to have a better communication skill with an emergence of HNI breed of customers. So these are special category of customers, friend, of the bank who need to be serviced specially. HNI stand for high net worth individual, high net worth individuals. So they are quite different than the normal set of customers for which a separate different offbeat type of services which needs to be given as. So if you look back, friend, if you look back in the history as such, which we have experienced for long, that the percentage of population which we had access to the banking industry, or those who had experience of banking as such, was limited only to 30%. You'll wonder, but it was a fact also. Okay, when we are saying that each and everybody should have access, or you can say the services should be made available to the banking, but unfortunately, for decades together, it was limited to not more than 30% of the population. So it was enormous task, okay, gigantic task for the bank to expand in not only to the only all urban or maybe metro centers, but there was a need to expand or to showcase their expansion to a smaller centers, very smaller centers, to look for this. This is what we call is as a tier 3 centers. Tier 1 could be all metro centers. Tier 2 could be all big cities, or you can say bigger location. Tier 2, Tier 3 speaks of the centers more needy, or rather which are the center where banking services are more required to be given as happen to be untapped centers, not only from social point of view, but also it shows a great potential in terms of the untapped business potential also, which would become untapped business hub. That's what I mentioned. That's why, in line with this understanding, friend, and thankfully, a very revolutionary concept was introduced. All of you would be knowing in this banking sector, another wave of revolution which took place in the form of launching of the scheme or the product, you can say a revolution called as PMJDY, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Okay, through this launching the scheme, very big a revolution, friends, which opened the doors as well as the opportunity manifold for the bankers as well as for all those sections of the society who remain to be, you can say, deserving, but they remain to be deprived of the services. Okay, through this scheme, the new vistas, new doors, you can say flush doors, okay, were made open to the normal public as also. So what does that indicate, friends? It indicates the big potential who would provide the service to such people in smaller centers, tier 3 centers. You are being a really, you can say, a voice of banking sector, banking industry. You are supposed to be. You are billed to provide such services, such product to this section also. Few more trends also, friends. Very, very interesting, but you'll definitely find it encouraging for you also. Apart from these two developments, banking also went on to have a shift in geographical approach. What was that shift, major shift in geographical approach? As I said, that we, in terms of providing more contribution to the society, not only limited to the metro center, bigger centers, urban centers, bank decided to shift their policy, have their policy to expand more, rather more level of expansion into lower location like rural centers or backward areas, which of course go backward as of now, but that happen to be the center of change, centers of excellence also for the future. So for that change in economy, banking sector should be an instrument of change. Okay, that was thought of. Then another feature which speaks of payment system. As I mentioned, we have really done a wonders, friends. So thanks to the technology which we have deployed, there have been an enormous innovation into the payment system which took place. So banking being you can say a medium of such a payment system to happen. So banking has vastly getting positioned towards all recent technologies, most advanced technologies, whatever technology tools we have. Okay, so we came up with we were involved seamless real time of such a remittances, maybe inward remittances as well as outward remittances also, which come up. Okay, so just to give an example, IMPS has been another one which recently has been absolutely popular has been UPI. UPI has been one of the you can say key change, major change of this payment system. Quite recent one, very recent one you must have read is called as UPI. UPI, okay, and Rupee rather Rupee. Next to UPI, Rupee was the latest product, okay, which is absolutely seamless, absolutely you can say technology based, seamless, paperless, touch based technologies, right? Then I feel just to have a close alignment of this all the potential, getting aligned with this industry and fulfilling the needs. What I feel, I expect that at all institute or you can say vibrant institute like yours, where you are aligned now, you have been part of this. I suppose, and this would be helping for me also coming from the industry. All those connecting factors, connecting points like counselors, and the way sir has mentioned, okay, having an active role in placement sale, they have very great job, okay, very great job to perform as a balancing figure, or you can say to have an equitable balance between the academics or maybe academic resources like you, and to get connected with the industry as well. Okay, so that you could have a role to explore and guide the all the aspirant, vibrant and quite active aspirant like you to put on the right path, right way, okay, which would lead them to future better prospect, okay, better prospect in your career as well. Okay, that's what I feel. Some thoughts for my mind. Okay, going ahead, friends. What I feel, and this should be you can say a thought process should come to your mind also. I'm trying to torque the thought process, or you can say start kickstart the thought process in you also. So what I feel, why majority of you, those who have to take such a decision in your career. So if you happen to be somewhere into a banking career, why you should opt for? What are the key factors which could happen to be a deciding factors for you? Okay, so few of them, and definitely you'd find it quite encouraging, quite interesting also. So all these banking jobs, placement, your positions, they're always backed by huge wealth of diversity. This speaks of something called as M, vitamin M. It's a booster, money, right? And almost every vacancy created in a bank, okay, it incorporates somewhere some sort of banking elements. Whatever could be any vacancy or anywhere there is a gap which is somewhere related to the banking asset. Okay, so getting it ahead. This could be in the form of law, legal system, compliances, accounting system, then in the form of some specialized investment banking, tax structure, then public relations, PR, we call this a PR, CRM, okay, a very advanced tool of the customers into bank is called a CRM, customer relationship management, very advanced tool as well. Okay, that's why this would be one of the feature. Then what I feel strongly, your career in banking, which is waiting for you. Okay, it is not limited to only domestic banking as such, but also it has an international flavor. It is international in nature also. Okay, you can file not only our my bank as such, but there are so many banks which have either they are foreign banks working in our country, or also there are so many banks like my bank, okay, who have presence in international market, in overseas market also, global markets as such. Okay, so you have such a vast potential, friends, to showcase and prove your skill. Okay, and not only limited to domestic market, but also you'll have international skies, international ways waiting for you also. That's why the banks have opened up quite good number of opportunities for the all deserving candidates like you. Okay, for all beginners, I feel all the beginners like you, okay, who would like to kickstart your prospective career as such, the banking sector is poised to provide an excellent opportunity, once in a while opportunity to develop an understanding of entire global economy. So you will get and such a opportunity, such a unique opportunity to come to know about not only what the way our own economy is happening, okay, going ahead, but also the way global economy is also happening. The best understanding of global economy, global structure as well. It really will help to pave your way to identify various challenges in the marketplace. When I say marketplace, the market around us in which we operate, banks operate, okay, and it will provide a tremendous opportunities globally to grow for yourself. As I said, this will make sure to have a growth for yourself, individual growth, as well as you could be instrumental to enhance you to play your part in the growth of the institution, in the growth of the banking institution also. Okay, so let us go ahead. Just to have a quick look on understanding as to what are the different types of banks in our country. Okay, to have a structure, many of you would be knowing also, but just to have a snapshot of the banking structure in our industry, in our country. More broadly, friends, the way you can look at it. I know many of you could be may not be connected with commerce field or finance field also. But just to add one flavor, friends, whenever bank would look at you, whenever banking industry would look at you, it's not merely limited to those students who have specialized into finance or specialized into other fields, which is not the case. I just would like to clarify also. Okay, many colleges, many institutes, they have a misnomer, great misnomer that if you would like to go into finance field or banking field, you should have a specialization in the finance, which is not at all the case. Okay, we would welcome banking industry, finance industry is ready to welcome you at a broader way. You where you may have specialized into finance, you might have specialized into retail trade, you might have specialized into HR as well as marketing also, right? So that market is wide open for all of you. Just wanted to clarify. Just have a look into the banking structure as such, type of banks. Broadly, there is a commercial banks and cooperative banks. Under commercial banks, as the way you can see different breeds of the bank. This could be a various private sector bank. Then there are, of course, historically all public sector banks. There are some regional banks also. They are called RRBs, regional rural banks. Okay, Kshetriya Gramin Bank, regional rural banks also, to take care of that particular region, geography of our country. Then, of course, foreign banks. These foreign banks, friends, they are the foreign banks which are operating into our country, or they have got special license to function in our country. And of course, other categories, cooperative banks, not to mention, the cooperative banks are there in all the states, taking care of the specific rural areas, or you can say underdeveloped areas, taking care of all the agriculture-based economy of the country also. So they are supposed to function from the local areas as such. So there are broadly, again, further divided into state cooperative banks, central cooperative banks, as well as at the root level, they are called as PACS, Primary Agriculture Credit Society. Okay, so typically just to have a brief glance, this is this type of structure. Wherever every choice is yours, which type you would like to choose, but everywhere, every category of banks, friends, you have great choice, great expectation also from the bank. So in addition to the normal bank, you can see, friends, there are some specialized functions. 1 second, let me share. There are some specialized banks, as we mentioned. There could be a payment banks or you'd say small finance bank, as well as there are some investment banks also. Okay, those investment banks, they of course they provide special type of assistance, financial assistance to its special category of customer. And also, you are supposed, as a banker, you are supposed to provide necessary support, like which are specialized services, like to provide foreign exchange services, also to provide investment guidance, counseling in the form of maybe equity, other instruments, also to get them on the route of foreign trading, overseas trading, elsewhere. Okay, so as we can mention, all these banks, most of the banks, what we have seen, they offer better package, absolutely better package, not to match with any industry friends. I must mention. So those who are definitely looking forward not only to prosper, not only to build up the career, but also they are looking for to build up their wealth house, wealth structure. Okay, wealth also. I suppose banking structure is one of such industry who offers great package, better package. Of course, again it would depend on you how best you go ahead, how best you upgrade yourself also and go ahead as well. Okay, it will be based on your own performance, which is aligned to the performance of the bank as such, right? So you will be definitely elevated through different promotions in a fast manner also, fast mode also. Okay, so as I mentioned, friends, you'll always find in the banks, typically public sector banks, you'll find all sort of professionals, all sort of people from various industries. Those could be engineers as well. Those could be from the medical field. Those typically management graduates like you, also legal experts as such. Okay, so based on your performance, specific need of the bank, also they are appointed. Okay, so in public sector banks, just to brief you, friends, how this placement takes place, how the recruitment takes place. As I mentioned here, there is the All India Recruitment Exam for managers or probation officers, which takes place all across the country. Okay, and wherein you need to apply for it, you need to appear for something called a CWE, Common Written Examination. Okay, which is conducted by an institute which is called IBPS. IBPS, Institute for Banking Personnel Selection. So this is for a public sector bank friends. So as far as PSBs are concerned, this process of placement or recruitment takes place through IBPS. Okay, this stands for, just to repeat, Institute for Banking Personnel Selection. Okay, thank you. Which is not the case for private sector bankers. Okay, for private sector bank, it's quite open. Either you can apply through their website also, or you can directly apply to them also, as such, right? So based on your specific skill set and your experience, or your you can specialize into a certain areas like foreign exchange, like international marketing, like agriculture. Okay, so you'll be placed into the appropriate area, appropriate department also. So from all the young managers like you, upcoming emerging managers, friend, what I expect from you, what are the basic skill set which is required, expected from you. When you are there, you are poised to make banking as a career. Okay, few of them: customer dealings. So in what best way you have a skill to deal with the customer, okay, and get them into kitty, to get them into the banking parlance. Then we need a people who have a great patience, Dheeraj. Definitely yes, because we are banking industry is into the public domain, or it's a public service, customer service as such. So you may come across variety of people with variety of characters, okay, variety of characteristics also. That's why we always needed such a people who have great level of patience as well. Then preferably those candidates or those managers, or you can say management people, who has a good flair, better flair with numbers, better flair with analytics, better flair of under, even though it's not at all a prerequisite. I would like to clarify that to have the knowledge of accounting, or to have a knowledge of something balance sheet, etc., it's not at all needed. It's not a prerequisite as such. That's the reason I mentioned that the on majority bank, they have good number of managers, employees who've been engineers also, who have been IT person also, right? So that, you can say, limitation of getting the people with commerce background has gone now, has foregone now. It's a historical foregone now, right? But it's preferred if you are flair with the numbers and accounting analytics. What I need to say, that if you have better analytical skills, the way look at the issue, the way you analyze, or you can say break up the issue and find appropriate solution for such issue, it is really required. Okay, so that preferable skill of analysis, analyzing the problem, breaking down into operating elements as such, and getting solution, this definitely could be preferred by. Okay, let's go ahead. What are the normal requirements? What we look for any bank as such? Typically for all young, you can say starters, okay, fresh graduates as such, or those who would like to become manager. So preferable age limit could be between 21 to 26 years. Then you need to be a graduate, any field, any discipline, okay, recognized university, and of course, if you are management graduates like you, right, it could definitely prefer. Definitely, bank has clear level of priority for getting management graduates like you. Whatever test we conduct, friends, to have a you can say screening, initial screening test as well, okay. What sort of test is conducted? Okay, what sort of test it is normally? You can see here. So that test will include, and you must have prepared well. I'm quite sure all of you are quite learned and expert into this area as well, and definitely you would be upgrading these skills as well. Okay, which includes something about the data interpretation, to put in logical reasoning for some issues. Also, you to test your general awareness about the economy, about the sports, about the politics, okay, about the international relations, all across, all around us. Of course, basic skills of English, conversation, communication, verbal, non-verbal, reasoning also is needed. Okay, it's normal requirement of any bank. This may vary from bank to bank, friends, right? So this what we need. Okay, coming to a broader perspective, friends. Broader perspective, few last things. Okay, I'm on the track with the time, but yes, few things are which are really prevalent, are quite relevant. I would like to show. So apart from bank, being a integral part of the finance field. So how this bifurcated? What is the fear of this finance field? I'm quite sure you'll find it quite interesting as such. Okay, under this finance, the broad three areas which are involved as an operation area for you. This could involve financing, business finance, or you can say commercial financing. Then this could also relate to various financial institutions. This could be banks as well as NBFCs, or you can say financial companies, other financial companies as well, fund houses. Okay, then it also involves investment, friends. This investment, as I said, if you happen to be an investment banker, you must have a clear skill, or you can say specialized skill into different investment products or different asset products. What we call it asset products. Okay, which you need to analyze and offer to the prospective customers as well. So look at this, the finance great sphere, big sphere. What are the various elements of this finance? Wherein one way or the other, you could be very effectively connected depending on your area of specialization, your skill, as well as your own preference also. Big areas, and as you can see, this finance sphere is very vastly expanding, friends. Okay, so this not only involves financial management, but lot of elements like strategic management, treasury management, IR, investor relationship, and so on. Financial planning. So it's huge, widely expanding field as such. Okay, where is you can't find in any area of our life, friends. Any area of our life, day-to-day life also, somewhere or the other, at some scale or the other, it speaks of finance. It speaks of something called as money. Speaks of some monetary element as such. That's why this is always ever expanding sphere, friends. Okay, it also includes, as I mentioned, insurance, commercial banking, VC, venture capital. I'm quite sure you'll always find some area which could be very close to your own interest, and as well as your to pull your own potential, and also to build up a great level of your career also going ahead. Okay, so this is what just I wanted to show you. A few last words, friend, before we come to the end. Okay, so while we coming to still some specialized area, um, while you choose, definitely you choose to get into the banking field. So what could be the broad profiles, or what could be broad areas initially? This I am talking from your entry point. At entry point, what could be broad area which are expected from your end, or what could be your choice also? Look at this. So as a banker, as a competent banker, friends, you could be you could be an authority to offer multiple products. So as you understand, friends, bank is a shop, is a multi-product shop, right? Which where bank has so many products as such, not commodity as such. Banks do not offer any commodity, but banking being into services sector, there are various products, various services, okay, to offer, or you can say array of products. Bank has big array of products to offer, because most customized, most which have been developed uh, to touch base and to fulfill the needs of various types of customers. So you as a banker or can say manager should be able to offer multiple array of products to the suitable customer to understand as to what that customer wants, needs as such, and offer that approval product for this. Then relationship banking, of course, it speaks of. Uh, Under relationship banking, friend, there are two elements as such. Two elements. One is a new customer, this is called a new customer relationship, NCR. To build up new customer, this is called a new customer relationship, NCR. Okay. Another a type of relationship which you are supposed to continue is called as ERV. ERV speaks of enhancement of relationship value, not limiting to just creation of value, but also as a banker, competent banker, you are supposed to enhance value also. This is what it speaks of ERV, enhancement of relationship value also. Both these elements will come under relationship banking. Then coming to transaction banking. What is transaction banking, friends? Very simple. To offer all the services to the customer wherever, whenever customer comes to you, okay, to enable all his transactions which he wants. This could be in terms of deposits, could be in terms of investment. Also, this could be in the form of remittance, outward remittance, inward remittance, as well as to open fresh account, to help him into his taxation part, everything. All would be in the form of bank transaction at the branch. This will happen typically at the branch. Then going further, a specialized part, very, very interesting part also, you could be an authority to make sure that all the necessary compliances, all the legal compliances has been maintained by the bank. Okay, this could be a very, very critical, and this would definitely decide the reputation of the bank also, a long standing of the bank also. So as a part of this, you could be, you can say, um, you should you should keep the eagle eye on the day-to-day maintenance of the system, its transaction, maintenance of records, okay, all audits, everything. Okay, so I know many of you could be interested to look at this, right? As a part profile into compliance and audit also. Apart from these broad areas, friends, I also wish to put before you, and I'm quite sure you could be very much interested to go ahead, not limited to this only relationship or transaction banking, to get into your own area of liking as well. So this speaks of some certain specialized sectors also. To take it further, wholesale banking. What is wholesale banking, friends? Wholesale banking speaks of uh, the banking which is other than retail banking. The way we look at the day-to-day banking is a part of the retail banking asset. But going ahead, there are so many big customers, various industries, corporate sector, whom we have to offer better services, specialized services, customized services to fulfill their specific needs. So under wholesale banking, we come across all the corporate sectors like Infosys, like Tech Mahindra, like no, Tata Motors, whatever. So they also happen to be a customer of the bank. So they also need a specialized, specific banking for their needs. That also could be coming to specialized sector. Then merchant banking. What is merchant banking, friends? Merchant banking is somewhere related to again specialized cadre which gets into the share trading asset. So whenever any company, any industry enters into the market, sourcing, getting, or you can say exploring the funds from the normal public. Okay, so as a effective intermediary into that transaction, the company will appoint you, your bank, any other bank as a merchant banker asset. So you could be an effective intermediary to make that initial public offer successful, also to facilitate all the transaction, getting the funds, getting the application money, okay, then finalization of the allocation, allotment of these shares, then ultimately also if required for return also, for refunding of the application money also. This all requires very highly specialized typical knowledge of the uh, share market also. Then going ahead, forex, foreign exchange. Forex is foreign exchange. In addition to normal banking, friend, there are a lot of customers who need uh, maybe some foreign exchange, maybe dollars, maybe euros to deal with. So this could forex will involve purchase and sale of currency and other forex instrument as well. Okay, this could be a foreign exchange, could be a forex cards. Okay, which also could be required by some level of customer, some type of customer. Say for example, somebody would need from foreign exchange who is traveling abroad, that could be made available to us. Then one or two areas before we close, trade finance, very challenging area, friends. Very challenging because I have been handling this area since long, so I can with authority I can tell you this happens to be one of the most challenging area of your career. Definitely, yes. Which speaks of providing finance for overseas trade, for international trade. This finance would be required to be provided for export trade as well as import trade also. Really challenging. Okay, so here the sky is not the limit, friends. Okay, normally we feel that sky is the limit. No, in terms of your specialized cadre and your entry into this area, the sky is not at limit. So you could be in a position to break this international skies and enter into that market also. Then lastly, retail assets. What are retail assets, friends? Nothing but all those assets for whatever purpose we approach to the bank. Okay, this asset could be in the form of availing home loan, housing loan, or maybe this for any type of personal loan. Then auto loan, vehicle loan also, which is quite required, quite in demand for anything we buy, for anything we acquire. Okay, for our own purpose, we need some loan. That's why bank would be very effective partner to make this retail asset or retail loans available to the customer also. This could be this can be consumer durable loan also. Any consumer durable we buy, like your system, music system, air conditioner, or maybe a fridge, everything for that matter. So retail asset would be helpful to provide that finance to bankers. For this, you could be a keen, you can say at the front, keen partner of the bank to make that provided to the bank. And lastly, another specialized cadre, many of you, those who could be specialized into HR stream assets, okay, those people also very much would be needed to maintain not only for recruitment, not only for salary purpose, not only to process the salary and payment, but also to make sure that amicable relationship, human relationship is maintained all across the class, all across the cadre of the banking also. Okay, so human HR, human resources would be very valid role within the banking. Okay, so if the chance is made available, you also could be a head of HR department as such. Okay, wherein you'll be responsible to maintain amicable industrial relation amongst all the team assets. So team building, team enhancement, team promotion, everything would be within your portfolio. Okay, so friends, these are the few areas which I wanted to put before you, and I suppose I'm in absolutely in time. Okay, so I wanted to be finish all these elements with you. Okay, so thank you so much, friends. That's what a broad perspective which I wanted to put before you. Thank you. So in relation to this area or anything you'd like to ask, within the finance, within the banking, within anything you'd like to ask, okay, you're free to ask me. So this forum is open for you now. Thank you so much. Over to you, friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So first of all, I will take the questions from chat box.
Yeah.
So Disha is saying that because of this digitization, which are the advanced skills required when you are looking for the recruitment of the students?
Great.
Because of the digitization, which are the advanced skills which are not available previously, but now you are looking for this. So please, sir, please share your view on this.
Definitely. So nice question, friend, and definitely this could be touching to all the minds. I know, okay, the minds of all you people. Yes, definitely is preferred the way the banking is getting into the advanced mode, more advanced mode, right? This is also is expected from the customer as well to make it not only competitive service or competitive product, but also to have a niche and safeguarded product, safeguarded service. It is absolutely needed, and to make sure at banking field, this is also required from your end as well to be at the helm of having the technological knowledge also. Nowadays, you can find, yes, it's the age of digitized payment, everything. So wherein, as I mentioned, bank also would like to do all the transaction not only paperless but touch based also, without paper, without check. There are no check required as such, right? Cashless as well, not only paperless but cashless also. But of course, this involves advancement or deployment of all technologies, and that you need to get acclimatized and expertise also. I would say broadly, and thankfully, what I could gain for the last 7 to 8 years, all those managers like you who are joining this industry, they are fair enough. They have fair amount of knowledge into IT, into all this automation as such. There are 2 points which I would definitely mention here. One, this all this technology as well as the digital platform is different from bank to bank. So whatever bank you would like to join, or whatever institute you join, bank will take care of providing all basic as well as required training to you. This is something called operational training. Okay, so before you get on the job, it is desirable that you should have a basic level of expertise into that technology. Okay, definitely bank would make sincere efforts to get to provide handholding support and expertise support before you are onboarded, before you get the job. That's one. But prior to that, it is always preferred that if you have some knowledge, some snippets of the knowledge, which could be something called as AI. So this is going to be artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is going to be a next phase of banking, friends. Okay, that's a very precise question. If you have somewhere expertise which could be a part and parcel, I'm quite sure this could, and IIEBM would be definitely taking care of this needs, fulfilling the needs also. So somewhere doing your curriculum, if you get an opportunity to have additional knowledge as well as a certification into AI, artificial intelligence, that would definitely help us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, next question is that as we have specializations in marketing, HR, finance, so in banking, which sector is specially preferred, marketing, HR, or finance?
Very very open question, but very difficult also. Banking industry, if I look at the banking industry as such, bank would at least at your level where you are freshers, but you have specialized into this particular discipline as such. I would not like to give any injustice to any discipline as such. For us, the skill of the individual, the way he displays when we place him, when we recruit him, that is more important than what he has, whatever baggage he has. Definitely, it will help me in long term as such. But at initial level, as in the series of preference, as you can say, bank would not do such a differentiation. Bank would not like to do such differentiation. All are my assets. All are my equally valuable resources assets for that matter.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you have. Great question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, next question is, as there are ample number of banks in India, but still there are only few job recruitment from IBPS. So why it is so?
Perfectly said. Very well said. Very well said. But again, this is on the rise now, because to the extent of fulfilling the requirements of public sector bank, as I mentioned, okay, only public sector bank and its requirement is fulfilled through IBPS. Okay, as I mentioned. But other than IBPS, there are huge requirement into different other areas of banking also, or other category of bank. As I already mentioned, there's a private sector bank. Okay, there are 12, 15 private sector banks, and there is a huge requirement which is always ongoing requirement, friends. Okay, there is no season or peak season as such. What I could experience, and just to share with you, friends, whenever I need resources, okay, there is always dearth for me also as a representative of the banking industry. Wherever I need some specific people, specific set of people, okay, there's always dearth. So there's always big gap. This gap will always be there. That's why what I wish with the most competent managers like you, I would always see as to how in what best manner I would come closer to the institute like you, others, okay, and to make it clear that yes, I need people, I need resources like you. Okay, that's the way industry is growing. There's always going to be a big gap between the demand being fulfilled, okay, and the supply being made also. What your question was only related to the IBPS? Yes, that is quite true. Uh, Related to government banks as well as public sector bank, that would be that with a limited manner, this will be done through IBPS. But other than IBPS, also is a big industry, big segment waiting for you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, next question is, as you have already covered this topic, that area of recruitment like multi-product, relationship banking, transaction banking, audit and compliance,
Yeah.
as well as specialized sector like wholesale banking, merchant banking, forex, trade finance, retail asset and HR. So you have covered this topic like where what is mean by this. So please share some skill set which if our student will develop, especially in these 2 years, so it will be a best fit for them in these sectors. Over to you, sir.
Great. Good question again. So what I feel very sincerely, and that's what I do whenever I get opportunity like this, as well as with some other institute also, I have a face-to-face interaction wherein I try to make it clear that how this gap between what you have, what you have acquired in these 2 years, and what really industry wants. Okay, there should be least possible gap between these two. I try to do that also, and this is also an opportunity for me. And very rightly said, I feel in this industry, in this particular curriculum as such, I hope you must have taken care of. Um, you must try to understand as to for any banking industry, typically for retail banking, because retail banking happens to be a major portion of the banking. Close to around 75 to 78% of the banking is retail banking. So you need to understand that within retail banking, what are the retail products? Within retail products, there are two distinct product assets. On one side, it speaks of retail liabilities. What are retail liabilities? Nothing but all the deposit products or all those products through which the money comes into the banking. And second, equally important portion is the retail asset. That's why I mentioned asset. Okay, so these are the two major pillars of any bank asset. So having this understood for by all of you, you need to develop such a sort of, you can say, a practical session, practical you can say activities which would throw more focus on the features of this product. Say, for example, take a case of, say, home loan. Home loan happens to be one most popular product, but you need to you need to develop. You must be doing also, but just to add to that, try to develop a simulation for this. Suppose you have a group activity. Within the group, you have, say, for example, somebody is customer and another way is a banker asset. So when you approach the bank, what are the basic requirement, basic initial requirement which bank is asking for? What are the documents? And through your own approach, as well as the approach from the professors also, all gurus also, you need to look at from the banker's perspective, banker's view as such. Okay, so I think approach should be there, wherein it should be based on close to 70% skills, which would be various activities, tutorials, and maybe you can say simulation, right? Actually visiting the bank and institution to understand also, and then try to get it expertise also, so that whenever you join the industry, it should not come to you as a shock. Okay, and it will be easier job for bank also, without requiring much of the initial training to be given as such. So I think more and more skill based orientation of the student, that will help for this product. And again, I will emphasize this when I say banking. Yes, we discuss about the different specialized category of banking, but for you at the entry level, more so in terms of the retail banking. So try to understand how the retail banking happens, how it is really important for the bank, what are the products, and what are the features you best understand before you make entry to the bank. I think that would be important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, last question we will take.
Yeah.
It is from Nidhi. She is saying that how is the concept of forex adding value to the bankers and customers?
Okay, good. Good that you are also thinking from bank's point of view. Definitely, that we'll discuss separately. But yes, again, forex as a one branch, or you can say a terminal of the banking services, how it matters or how it is important from the customers. Fine. As I mentioned, as a separate, you can say one small terminal of the bank which offers, or you can say the desk. Each and every bank branch has a dedicated desk for foreign exchange. Why they are dedicated desk? That itself will make you very clear, because nowadays there is a increasing incidence of people going abroad. Okay, this could be myself moving abroad for my trade work or for my operation work or my business work also takes part. More importantly, you would see that there is an incidence of lot of students, lot of people, lot of kids traveling abroad. Okay, this could be typically for going for higher education, or could be going for their offset assignment and whatnot. Also, this could be for a foreign travel or trip also, right? So all these activities now recently require specialized services. What are the services which are required to make the foreign exchange available? This foreign exchange could be dollars, could be euros, could be Japanese yen, or maybe sterling pounds also. So more the world coming closer to you, closer to all of us, more the need of uh, forex services which is required. Then go other way around, you may have earning also. Suppose we have, all of us, we have a lot of relatives, maybe our friend, maybe mummy, daddy, brother. Okay, who is working abroad also. As a part of his assignment in foreign country, he must be earning well. Okay, multifold and manifold. So he would like to send that money to our country. Okay, to your account also. So for that matter, also foreign exchange department of the banking has been an intermediary through which bank would make it seamless servicing to make this transmission of money inside the country, coming inside the country as well as going outside the country, absolutely seamless. That's why, just to add a factor, banks need to see, and bank is absolutely there to see that the payment mechanism what we have, or the remittance mechanism what we have, should be trustworthy, efficient, and very very fast as such. Secondly, to provide best of the service to all such specialized people. For that matter, it really adds the significance to provide forex services to all such customers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So you have covered almost all the area of banking. Like EPI is 39 out of 100. Means there are a lot of opportunities for our students to enter into this sector, as well as RBI is in a mission to make banking stronger and recruit more candidates into banking to make country financially strong. Also, the SFB and Payment Bank, which is a specialized breed. So the jobs and skills which we students will develop will help them to get job in this. And most importantly, there is a no recession in this sector. Even pandemic haven't hampered this sector, and it is booming. So it's a good news for all the students that yes, this is a sector where they can enter. So they will get a good opportunity in future too. Also, the enormous changes in payment system like UPI and Rupee. So the skill set required are different, but yes, they are related to banking, and they will help if the student will learn them or enter into that field. So there is a great future for them. Apart from that, the way you have explained the type of banks like private, public, regional, then commercial banks, the type of commercial, that is private, public, foreign banks, and cooperative banks. So it will help our students to understand the banking structure. So thank you very much, sir, for your inputs, which will really help our students to enter into this field and take a decision. And it's my personal view that even after this 20 plus years of experience, from start to end, I can observe that you are so enthusiastic, means your pitch is not going down even from starting to end. So what is the secret of this, sir? I personally want to know this.
This all is related to two factors. One is, of course, the culture, the way we have been brought up, okay, and our dedication, maybe our involvement, which definitely gets aligned. And secondly, this is what my industry wants. So wherever I represent, is always want that, okay, what that's what I mentioned also in my session. What may happen? What will put the situation around us? Okay, you should have such a face irrespective of whatever is going on the back of your mind, you must have a skill to have something called a masking. You must have that sort of mask to have to display to somebody else before you. That's why it's a separate secret for you. So thankfully, you made me open the secret also. But that's what I meant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Your valuable inputs will surely help our student to select the branch to enter into specific sector. And thank you very much, sir. We would like to see you personally over here
Yes,
to
yes.
interact with our student once your time permits. So I will be in touch with you, and I want that you should come to a campus once you are free and ready for the interaction with our students, sir.
Sure.
So
my
thank you very
pleasure.
much, sir. Thank you.
I will be looking forward, friends, to meet you all whenever this pandemic gets down and we get into the physical, I can say, resemblance, getting each other. Okay, and definitely I'll look forward. So I will also look forward to IIBM being one of the potential recruiter for me as well as for the industry as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Great pleasure and all the best, student, for all your very prospective and illustrious career, and all the best for your future also. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye bye. Thank you.